video in 7 years. Let's see if we can do this. Hey, how's it going? It's been a long time since I made a video on this channel. But I'm not dead. And oh, excuse me. I am the Silence Masses, aka Robin. And today, I'm making my first video in nearly a decade. Because I had a problem with something that I'm sure you can tell what it is by looking at the goddamn title, and which subsequently, YouTube will hate. And that's fine. If one person gets helped by this video, I will be happy. So, what am I talking about? Well, let's just rip off the band-aid. This is my rifle. This is Helen. She is a Troy Industries pump-action rifle in .223 Remington. She has been modified with an aftermarket grip, an aftermarket buttstock, you know, some anti-walk pins, made ambidextrous, and a simple little red dot from Walmart. She's also, for the record, completely and totally clear. She has nothing in her, no magazine, nothing. Now, let me give you a little bit of background on this. So, I got Helen about 2 years ago, I think. I think that's about right. And I love the fact that she is able to exist, right? This is effectively an AR platform rifle that is 50 state legal. It is legal in a lot of places that you can't get AR rifles. So if you really like the ergonomics of an AR rifle, or you know, whatever it is, you just really like the aftermarket, this is honestly a pretty good option if you have money for it. And frankly, if you get a newer version of it, this has no, like, M-lock. It has some Picatinny rail up top, but newer version of this also has M-lock out front. And if you can get that, I would. But neither here nor there, because the problem I had with Helen is that she didn't work. Every time I went to the range with her, I would have the same problem, which is that I would get a shot off with her, I would rack her, and I would get a failure to extract. On the next round, I would get a failure to feed. I would get a ruptured case, I would get soft strikes, I would get all sorts of issues. And for a long time, I didn't know what the hell the problem was. I tried writing to Troy about it and got no answer. I tried looking around on AR-15 forums, and no one gives a shit about this gun, so no one talked about it. Come to find out that the problem was actually quite simple. So you see, on this rifle, there is a pump release right there below that. And what that basically does is the same thing it does in a regular, like, pump-action shotgun. It releases the pump. It allows you to just, like, if it's in battery, it allows you to bring it out of battery safely. Now, let me explain to you what the problem is. So, here's the issue. This right here is the pump release. When you interact with the button, it brings it down. When you drop the hammer, it also brings it all the way down, so that the bolt head right here, well, not the bolt head, the bolt carrier right there can clear it. And it has a little divot right there where it interfaces to keep it in battery. The problem is that for quite a while, that pump release was interfacing right there at the bolt head, which kept it from being able to open properly. And I was about at my wit's end with this. I thought of so many different solutions. I thought of, you know, trying to get a replacement spring for this. I, you know, tried lubrication. I thought about snipping one of the coils off the springs to loosen. I thought of tossing it into the sea and starting over. Everything. And what I finally ended up doing was actually quite simple. So I don't know if anyone else has ever had this issue, or if it's literally just a this gun issue. But if you have a Troy PAR in 223 Remington specifically, I can't speak for how well it would work on a 308 version, but I assume it's the same principle, but I don't know how much of a problem it is. It's very simple. I, if you can see, basically had to sand the hell out of it. I got one of these little micro sanding kits from an auto parts store, actually. I went up to from 400 up to 1500 grit to make it nice and smooth. It took a couple rounds of sanding to get it to work properly. That's because the bolt head kept making contact with the pump release and leaving a shoulder on it. So it took probably about an hour of, taking it apart, putting it back together. I had to get real comfortable getting this, that bolt right there out, or not bolt, that pin out, and getting it back in safely and everything. But it eventually worked. So I had to basically reshape this a little bit so that it still interfaces with the bolt, but it no longer gets caught on the bolt face. It no longer leaves a shoulder on it. I just kept having to go at it with a sander until, a little micro sander, hand sander block, really, until I got rid of all the shoulders. And now, God, I hope it doesn't make a liar out of me. We're gonna go totally into battery. We are totally in battery. Make sure this is fully seated. Okay, so you will, and again, this is, I'll prove this. It is, there's nothing in the chamber. There's no magazine. So, fully in battery. Drop, and there's no issue anymore. And I am so overjoyed. For 2 years, I've been dealing with this. And I'm so glad it was such a simple fix. It probably still voids the warranty, but if you've been having problems with one of these rifles, that's all you gotta do. You just gotta reshape it. You gotta keep, it'll take some trial and error, but it will get there. I'm also probably gonna lube it up a little bit later, but my God, you have no idea how relieved I was to figure this out. So yeah, I don't know if this is gonna help anybody. I don't know if this is gonna do anything. I don't know if YouTube's even gonna show this to people, but if you've ever had a problem with a Troy PAR in 5.56 223 and this was the nature of the problem, well, now you know how to fix it. And so do I. So I hope this was of use to somebody. Originally this was like a 17-minute video of me going through trying to fix the problem, and I eventually decided, you know what, I don't want to leave this off on a cliffhanger. I want to just get it fixed. So I just kept going until I figured out the solution, and now this is for all of you. Long live Helen, and long live you. Anyway, this has been Robin, aka The Honest Masses. It probably won't be 7 years until the next video, but if it is, I'll see you then.